Lesson 1. What are Pokemon cards? Basic Pokemon. Basic Pokemon are Pokemon that you can play directly from your hand, either as an active Pokemon on your first turn or to the bench on any turn. Every player needs a basic Pokemon to begin the game. Caterpie is an example of a basic Pokemon. Caterpie has 2 attacks. The first attack, Signs of Evolution, can use any type of energy. The second attack, String Shot, needs grass energy in order to use it. Each turn, you choose which attack Caterpie will use. Caterpie has weakness to fire Pokemon. It takes twice as much damage when a fire Pokemon attacks it. Caterpie can retreat back to the bench, but a single card of any type of energy must be discarded to pay the retreat cost. If Caterpie takes 50 damage, it becomes knocked out. Stage 1 Pokemon. Many basic Pokemon can evolve to Stage 1 Pokemon. Stage 1 Pokemon have more hit points and more powerful attacks. Metapod. Metapod is a Stage 1 Pokemon, and it evolves from Caterpie. You can evolve Caterpie by putting Metapod on top of Caterpie. After a Pokemon evolves, it only uses the attacks and powers of its new stage, and any damage on the basic Pokemon stays on the evolved Pokemon. Metapod has 1 attack. Sharpen needs at least 2 energy in order to use it. Metapod keeps Caterpie's weakness to fire Pokemon. Metapod can retreat back to the bench by discarding 2 of any type of energy to pay its retreat cost. If Metapod takes 80 damage, it's knocked out. Stage 2 Pokemon. Stage 2 Pokemon are even more powerful than Stage 1 Pokemon. Butterfree. Butterfree is a Stage 2 Pokemon, and it evolves from Metapod. You evolve Metapod by putting the Butterfree card on top of the Caterpie and Metapod cards. After evolving, only Butterfree's attacks are used, and any damage already on it stays on it. Butterfree has 2 attacks. The first attack, Whirlwind, needs 2 energy of any type to use it. The second attack, Gust, requires 3 or more energy to use it, at least one of which needs to be grass energy. Gust does 50 damage, making Butterfree a tough opponent. Butterfree can retreat back to the bench for free. If Butterfree takes 100 damage, it's knocked out. Basic Energy Cards. Energy cards allow Pokemon to use attacks. There are 6 types of basic energy: grass, fire, water, lightning, psychic, and fighting. Some attacks require specific types of energy, while other attacks can use any type of energy. Lightning energy cards are typically used in attacks by lightning-type Pokemon. Grass energy cards are typically used in attacks by grass-type Pokemon. Fire energy cards in attacks by fire-type Pokemon. Water energy cards in attacks by water-type Pokemon. Psychic energy cards by psychic-type Pokemon. And fighting energy cards by fighting-type Pokemon. Trainer cards. Trainer cards have instructions to complete during a player's turn. Most trainer cards have an immediate effect and then go to the discard pile. The Potion Trainer card, for example, removes up to 2 damage counters from a Pokemon. Lesson 2. How to start a game. Each player starts the game by shuffling his or her 60-card deck of Pokemon cards. Each player then draws a hand of 7 cards. Each starting hand must contain at least 1 basic Pokemon. Because your hand only has 1 basic Pokemon, Charmander must be the active Pokemon you start the game with. If you had more than 1 basic Pokemon, you could choose which Pokemon would be the active Pokemon. The active Pokemon is put face down, so the other player can't guess your strategy right away. Next, we each set aside 6 prize cards from the tops of our decks. Each time you knock out an opponent's Pokemon, you get to take one of your prize cards and add it to your hand. The suspense is about to be over. Let's turn over our active Pokemon. Great! Now we're ready to start. Flip a coin. If you get heads, You get to go first. Lesson 3. Playing the game. Each player starts his or her turn by drawing a card, except for whoever starts the game. To make it a little more fair, the person who goes first doesn't get to draw a card on the first turn. You start by putting an energy card on your Pokemon. A Pokemon can't do very much without energy to power up and attack. You can only put one energy card on your Pokemon during your turn. Fortunately, Charmander just needs one of any kind of energy to use the headbutt attack. Let's try it out. Attacking is the last thing you do each turn, so it looks like you're done with your turn. I start my turn by drawing a card. I drew another basic Pokemon, so I'll put it on my bench as a spare Pokemon to battle with. I'll attach an energy card to my active Pokemon so it can attack. I'll attack using Bulbasaur. Now that I've attacked, my turn's over. Now it's your second turn. You start by drawing a card. Hey, it's an evolution card. Time to boost up Charmander. Now, with Charmeleon, you could use Damage Burn attack. But first, Charmeleon needs more energy. It would be nice to add more energy cards to Charmeleon, but you can only add one energy card per turn. Look, you have enough energy to use Charmeleon's Flare attack. My turn. Let's see what I can do. First, I draw a card. It looks like Bulbasaur is going to lose to Charmeleon, so I should start putting energy on my next Pokemon. Let's get in Charmeleon's attack now. Lesson 4. Knocking out a Pokemon. Start your third turn by drawing a card. By placing a basic Pokemon on the bench, you provide a backup Pokemon just in case Charmeleon gets knocked out. With a third energy card, you can finally use Charmeleon's Damage Burn. Charmeleon has 20 damage. Let's play the Potion Trainer card and remove that damage. Charmeleon is ready to go. With either Flare or Damage Burn, Bulbasaur will be knocked out. You just knocked out my first Pokemon. This means you draw one of your prize cards and add it to your hand. It's a good thing I can bring up my Squirtle from the bench. If I didn't have any more Pokemon in play, I'd lose the game. Lesson 5. Learning weakness and resistance. This is my third turn. Let's see if I can stop Charmeleon. I draw a card. Good. Another basic Pokemon. Squirtle needs another energy to use Smash Turn. Charmeleon has weakness to water Pokemon. This means that Charmeleon takes twice as much damage from Squirtle's attacks. Go Squirtle! Let's see. 20 damage. Double that for weakness makes it 40. Some Pokemon have resistance to a specific Pokemon type. If Charmeleon had resistance to water Pokemon instead of weakness to them, Charmeleon would take 30 less damage from that attack. It's important to check for weaknesses and resistances on your Pokemon. Lesson 6. Retreating. Since Charmeleon has taken some damage and probably would get knocked out if left in, now is a good time to learn how to retreat. Go ahead, draw a card. Charmeleon is going to discard an energy to retreat. Now, move Execute up from the bench. If you had a Switch Trainer card, you could use it to switch your active Pokemon with a benched Pokemon instead of discarding energy to retreat. Lesson 7. Special Conditions. Execute needs an energy for its Psybeam. Execute. Attack Squirtle with your Psybeam. Let's see. Now you flip a coin to see if Execute will make my Squirtle confused. Oh no! It looks like Squirtle is confused. Confused is one of 5 special conditions. The other special conditions are asleep, burned, paralyzed, and poisoned. They each do different things, and some will go away on their own. If your Pokemon is asleep, it cannot attack or retreat. At the end of each player's turn, you flip a coin. If you get heads, your Pokemon is no longer asleep. If your Pokemon is paralyzed, it cannot attack or retreat this turn. Once your turn is over, your Pokemon is no longer paralyzed. When a Pokemon is poisoned, You put a poison marker on the card. At the end of each player's turn, put a damage counter on the Pokémon that is poisoned. When a Pokémon is burned, you put a burn marker on the card. At the end of each player's turn, flip a coin. If it's tails, put 2 damage counters on the burned Pokémon. If it's heads, the Pokémon doesn't take damage this turn. You can cure a Pokémon of a special condition by evolving it or retreating the Pokémon to the bench. Now, back to the action. Normally, I would retreat a confused Pokémon, but I'll keep Squirtle out there as part of the lesson. Squirtle, attack with Smash Turn. Oh wait, Squirtle is confused. I'll have to flip a coin to see whether it can complete the attack. Oh no, I got Tails. Squirtle gets 3 damage counters and stops attacking. Draw a card. My Squirtle has only 10 hit points left. Your Execute attacks with Psybeam again and does 10 damage to Squirtle, which knocks out Squirtle. You get to take another prize. Now I have to pick a Pokémon to be my active Pokémon. Jigglypuff, I choose you. If I had chosen to retreat Squirtle, I would have cleared all special conditions from the Pokémon without a coin flip. Squirtle would not have been knocked out this turn. As you can see, special conditions can be really powerful. Lesson 8. Poké Powers and Poké Bodies. This turn, we'll check out what a Poké Power is. I'll go ahead and start my turn. Let's start by evolving Jigglypuff into Wigglytuff. Take a look at Wigglytuff for a moment. Wigglytuff has the Poké Power Assistance. Usually, Poké Powers can only be used one time each turn. Also, they don't work if that Pokémon is affected by a special condition. There's also something called a Poké Body, which is like a Poké Power, except that it's always turned on. Wigglytuff's assistance allows the player to remove a special condition from one of their active Pokémon, but only if Wigglytuff is on the bench. Since Wigglytuff is my active Pokémon, I can't use Wigglytuff's Poké Power. That was a quick sample of part of a game. Now let's talk about how to win. Lesson 9. Winning the game. There are 3 ways to win a game. Collect all 6 of your prize cards, knock out your opponent's last Pokémon in play, or when your opponent has no more cards to draw from his or her deck at the start of his or her turn. When we first started our game, we each set aside 6 prize cards. During Lesson 4, your Charmeleon knocked out my Bulbasaur, allowing you to take the first of your prize cards. If you collect all 6 of your prize cards, you win! The second way of winning the game is by knocking out your opponent's active Pokémon when he or she has no Pokémon on the bench. Remember how we kept putting our extra basic Pokémon on the bench? It was important. If your opponent doesn't have any Pokémon in play, you win. The third and final way of winning the game is when your opponent can't draw a card at the start of his or her turn. Sometimes this happens if the game continues long enough. This concludes the basic lessons of being a Pokémon trainer. Good luck! Great! Correct. That's right. Yes. Great. Great. That's right. Yes. Correct. Yes. Nope. That's right. Yes. Great. Yes. Great. Correct. That's right. Yes. Great. Great. That's right. Yes. Correct. Yes. Great. That's right. Yes. Great. Yes.